Yes, now we are starting to transmitting through YouTube as well. So I was putting the wrong user. So of course it will never work if I don't put my user. So yes, we can go now. Share. I will not share my screen. I'm going to pass that to you, and so you can take over. Just here, waiting room, and okay. So now you're the host. You can share your screen and do everything.
No, actually I can't. I'm trying, but I can't. It's another gadget. Okay, I try take myself. Okay.
You cannot share your screen?
I cannot, sorry.
Okay, let me just try to fix it from here. Just hold on a second. Against sharing option, let's put it.
I have twice.
All participants who can start sharing when someone says.
Oh yes, I can.
Now you can. Yeah, I have changed the.
Okay.
Now you can go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, I think that was my technical mistake. I'm not the technical guy. The technical guy is sleeping right now because he's sitting in California. So I'm sorry for that.
Okay, I think I can start.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes.
I'm just blocking myself. Bye.
Thank you so much. First of all, of course, I want to say thank you for inviting my person for this very interesting event. It's very important personally for me and for our body and Ukraine in general. First of all, let me express how deeply we in Ukraine are very grateful for all the support the international community has provided to the people of Ukraine since the very first days of Russian invasion. Of course, I will tell you some details maybe about war in Ukraine, some parts of numbers, witnesses, and some crimes in Ukraine that was by Russian invasion. Actually, okay. I hope you read some my CV, but I just tell that I work in National Agency on Corruption Prevention. In Ukraine, we have a very long names of our positions, but in general, I work with compliance officers. I work with their development, their learning and training, and work in corruption protection and detection department that include work with corruption risks, with strategic analysis risks, anti-corruption expertise, and whistleblowers. Actually, some information about Ukraine invasion, Russian invasion in Ukraine. More than 6 months of the unprovoked and unjustified Russian war of aggression against Ukraine dramatically changed the lives of our citizens and impacted the whole world. nearly 6 million people have been forced to leave Ukraine, and another 8 million people have become entirely displaced persons. They are refugees now. According, Russian weapons brutally killed more than 5,000 civilians, and nearly 6,000 were injured. As a result of this 6 months of art against honor, destruction, murders, and rape, almost 16 million people need humanitarian aid, humanitarian support. And actually, we can say that nearly 60 billion million dollars have need Ukraine for raw estimations of the discretion calculate, which may increase as the war continues. Actually, these set numbers just help to understand what horrible situation in Ukraine at now, and we really need big support between the war, and we hope that in the nearest future we will win, and we need more integrity and transparency instruments for resilience Ukraine, for be more better country, strong country, and brave country. So anti-corruption will help in this, and National Anti-Corruption Agency really stayed in the first line of these duties in our government. Actually, few words about our body. We work now when the war was started. We work with risk assessment and corruption prevention in humanitarian aid, analyzes exciting procedures for providing humanitarian aid. We take part in create solutions on optimal needs, identification and distribution humanitarian aid between Ukraine and from abroad. And actually, we start development methodology for the assessment to ensure corruption prevention while reconstruction, because we understand that these procedures will be very integrity, and our donors and international organizations want to have big control these procedures and control their money and their spending, actually. National Agency on Corruption is the central executive body on government, then primary responsible for formulation anti-corruption policy and ensuring the integrity of public officials and political parties. First day of work, the NSCP was in 2016 year, and now we are strong body that in 2020 was reformed and changed our form for one chief of the body, and we change values and principles of our work. Today's our functions include a lot of duties, but I work with prevention and detection of corruption, and I talk about our functions in my presentation. But when the war starts, we understand that we have do a lot of tasks for our win will be near, and that we have this win. And actually, we understand that interaction between the state and business should be based on trust, especially in times of war. For this, it is important to implement the principle of transparency and integrity in all organizations, both public and private sector. Actually, we start work with 2 new portals, and also we start work with analyzing corruption risks in the military sphere, and we create new portal that help to stop Russian terrorism in the world. Actually, this I talk about economical sanctions, and we launch a new web portal for war and sanctions. You see on the screen the link and QR code that you have to use it, and this portal, this database of sanctions that were imposed due Russia's attack on Ukraine. Sanctions have already been imposed on some individuals and legal entities due to war in Ukraine, and who should prepare. You can find out which countries have imposed the most sanctions on individuals and companies that support the Ukrainian regime and report actually the accumulation of sanctions and or assessments. And the second portal, it continue the first of all, and it help to report the assets of persons involved in the war. You can also find here a full list of people supporting the Russian invasions in Ukraine, and this portal we create with task force bodies in Ukraine, and the portal allows submitting the whistleblower report anonymously if required. The message can be submitted in Ukrainian, English, or Russian. You need all countries in the world and help Ukraine to find actives, blue detectives that bring the war and help to the end to the war by Putin's economic pressure on those who support Putin's regime. In the start of the war, actually, we also understand that Ukraine have never been lost, and we change our principles in anti-corruption too, and we understood that we need a reform. And actually, first step of this was that Ukrainian parliament and we understand that corruption has no place in Ukraine society, in Ukraine government, and the country in general, and we pushed for as the Ukrainian parliament approved the anti-corruption strategy for nearly 4 years, and it's come into force at now. And now the government, NASIP team, international experts, Ukrainian experts actually work on anti-corruption program that have to help realize main ideas, main points of this strategy, and help realize and change our society on basic principles, international principles of integrity and transparency. Actually, we want to optimization our functions of state body and continue our reform in all spheres in Ukraine. Next step will be digital transformation and open data. We in our work also use a lot of digital instruments and solutions. I will tell about it. And we want to realize these instruments for other bodies, investigative bodies and court bodies. So it will be digitalization of all country, and Ministry of Digital Transformation helped in it for us. Actually, conventional legal services, intolerance to corruption among the population, and inevitability of punishment will help us to realize our strategy. And in 2025, we will see new country with new values, and it will be new European and integrity country. We really believe in that. Actually, now the NSCP, in collaboration with governments, still start development a state program to implement anti-corruption strategy, and program will identify specific tasks and steps to combat corruption, and the authorities responsible for their implementation. Actually, this cross-functional work, and we all have our responsible of this. Actually, for promotion this strategy, we understand that we have to change our principle of our work and policy. So we understand that we plan to share our new key principles and work like implement ISO standards in Ukrainian policy, in Ukrainian business, and actually, I talk about ISO standard about risk management system, anti-bribery system, compliance management, and whistleblower management. This basic ISO standards that we use in our work, and all our workers was certified of these ISO standards, and we teaching our compliance officer based on these standards. Also, we use best practices from another countries, from business, to find best in the best and implement it in our work practice, and use for recommendations and like examples for effectiveness of work compliance. We create cross-functional groups in our body. We use best practices in our departments, and complete our duties and power for main ideas. Main ideas and main tasks in NSCP today. I talk about risk assessment in military, risk assessment in humanitarian aid, and sanctions portal, actually. And we understand that the main idea and main power in our hand is awareness, and actually realize formation and creation basic culture, integrity culture, transparency culture to our society, to other bodies, and we share our passion of this for change mindset in public and private sector of Ukraine, because it's really important, and when we can't change anything without this understanding or the really values of these tasks. Actually, how we priority our work, it's just we understand that we need some main tasks in our duties between other, and actually strategy analysis, corruption risks in main spheres, it was priority task, but in the past, before the war, we made and actually 15 spheres and analyzed 15 spheres in Ukraine and found nearly 1,000 corruption risks and detailed it in our reports and researches. And actually, you can find it in our website. The second task was anti-corruption expertise, and actually it's a really important task in Ukraine now, because the first stage is monitoring. We literally review all legal acts in Ukraine, drafts of laws and acts of government, and we try to find in the text contain even the slightest laws that could lead to the corruption, and send the second stage. And the next level is actual expertise and expert scrutinize the document for corruption including factors and develop recommendation to the authorities on how they eliminate these corruption factors. And the corruption expertise remove all emotional coloring from documents and polishes their objectivity. And actually, this work saves funds that could have been lost due to risks. So since the beginning of the year, we have monitored nearly 2,000 legal acts and found corruption risks in more than 50 spheres, and developed 90 recommendations on how to fix them. Actually, we use a lot of instruments in our work, and first of this, it's IT tool and online platforms that helped us to digitalization our work. I said about register of declaration. This is register of electronic declaration of our public employers, and every year we have nearly 800,000 of these declarations. The second one, it's Politdata, portal Politdata. It helps us for reporting political parties and for transparent reporting of the budget by political parties. The register contains more than 6 million documents submitted by political officials, which makes it the largest similar big data in the world. Control over political finance and verifications of the political parties' reports. Next, it's a register of corruption officials. It completes information about corruption-related offenses, and at now, I think there are nearly 33,000 of public officials that saw in corruption crimes in this register. And actually, we have a learning platform and anti-corruption portal. And about it, I will talk later, because I will talk about our anti-corruption officers. The second instrument of Ukraine anti-corruption policy, this is whistleblowing. And we can talk about our work, that the key findings that create our corporate policies, and these policies would help realize standards, actually ISO standards and law standards in Ukraine in anti-corruption, and make the whistleblowing process more virtuous, transparent, objective, and clear for workers in companies and organizations, and for these employers. We know that whistleblowing should be one of the most important values of any company, and the main task for us is that whistleblowing be positively embedded in society. People report when their entire system works, report, investigation, and of course, justice. We know and try help for our anti-corruption officers to organize educational and communication campaigns, to share policies, knowledges, and values of whistleblowers. And actually, now we create a portal of whistleblowing, and we try to continue and best practices, and that all our investigative bodies and anti-corruption officers will be authorized members of this portal and can report about corruption by this portal. Okay, and
você entrega para mim aqui na Corimbo? Tá.
Can I continue?
Tá. Peraí, só um minutinho.
And actually, I talk about 2 points, and it's my real
Olha, no
honor of my
sentido que
work.
vai para a Praia Amélia, é uma entrada antes do viaduto. É uma entradinha antes, que tem na parede tem um símbolo da Sonangol, depósito de bebidas, tá? É Grupo Mieres, o nome da empresa. Grupo Mieres, o nome da empresa.
Okay, and I continue. Just 1 point. It's our unique instrument that anti-corruption officers it's our proud because it's really important for realize anti-corruption strategy, and this unique element of the organizational structure of each state body, this our agents in any body, government body in Ukraine, and this is analog to compliance officer in a business. Likewise, compliance officers in business, anti-corruption officers organize anti-corruption work in organization, identify corruption risks, and propose measures to minimize them. They are monitoring the prevention and solution of conflict interests, and work with corruption reports and whistleblowers. Also, they spread information legislation and among employers and advice regarding and compliance, due diligence, verify other documents, etc. Actually, now in Ukraine we have about 10,000 of anti-corruption officers, and their main functions I talk, but we understand that we have to develop them, and actually we knew that we have coordination their work. So we combine 2 leading forces in building and effective compliance system in the organizations versus leader and anti-corruption professional. And for our anti-corruption professionals, we develop a strategy for learning and development of anti-corruption officers. And actually, you can find it for a link. And this strategy have key steps for building our effective network in anti-corruption officers. And we use for this tone of the top, the active leadership role in management, compliance management also. We create anti-corruption platform, anti-corruption portal for networking of these anti-corruption officers. In this portal, we use actually the evaluation of their work and rating their work by process. And also we complete in this portal all interesting methodical informational materials for learning, development themselves, and development some policies for create policies. And actually we have corruption risk catalog that help them in their work with corruption risks in any spheres of their work. Now you see on the screen our anti-corruption portal and menu of this. I share our risk library of spheres that we analyzed these risks, and essentially index of anti-corruption officers that we use in 2020, and we analyze their work and complete this index. Also, we have main section that about professional development. It consists of trainings, online and offline courses, and knowledge base that include all informational materials for compliance officers that they need. And actually the last instrument, this is leader's voice, that we know that it's important because turn from the top, and this popular principle, and every leader must demonstrate an active role of intolerance of corruption and encouragement to expose, including material insight rates. Advantages of this, it's motivation and trust of employers, business reputation, improvement of work efficiency, and cohesion. And I can say 7 steps how you can realize in any company this leader's voice. First of all, you can distribute responsibility for the anti-corruption policies of organization, create and ensure the activities, conduct and assessment of the corruption risks, create awareness, cultivate a culture of exposing corruption, and analyze the effectiveness of the corruption system that you managed. And actually we use for these instruments in one system. They also work cross-functional, and we understand that these instruments are very important for building compliance in any country, in any company, or body government. So now we work with risk assessment between the war, and now you can help Ukraine also. We also open for any experience. We also get ready to propose our experience, our products that we realized, and share information, share our researches for get this experience from you. And really you can also use our new portal for help Ukraine to win in this war. And actually I will find, if you want ask me any questions, and you have some information to me, or you want to take some presentations or our researches and links of our documents from me, you can write me on LinkedIn or on my email. And I want to thank you for this invitation, for take part in this event. It's very important for Ukraine today, and I really hope it can be more popularized Ukraine in the world, and our best practice of anti-corruption policies will be shared between all world, and we want to be really integrate in any anti-corruption reforms in the world. And how we are searching and are interested in certification program, universities to compliance and ethics study, and we really want to be better tomorrow. And actually, if you have some information, I will happy to get it, and you can text me on LinkedIn or email. I will thanks for you, and I have to go because I have another event on my work. Today we talk about corruption risks in higher education, and we talk about entire campaign of the university in this year, and it was really hard and difficult because it was war, but we have a great results of work of the anti-corruption officers in higher education and in university. Actually, thank you very much, and I hope you are still with Ukraine, and Slava Ukraini. We talk in the end of our events in Ukraine. Thank you so much.
Hello, Anna.
Hello.
One question, the WhatsApp. Rui Marques, your WhatsApp. One question,
WhatsApp,
okay?
yes, I can write. I try to open. You have maybe WhatsApp in this group or
WhatsApp to your telephone. Number the WhatsApp.
Sorry, I can't now use because I have to go for my event. If you want to ask me something, you can write to me, and in WhatsApp group you have my contacts and links, and actually in LinkedIn you also have to.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and bye. Best wishes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Muito extraordinário. Tivemos a apresentar-nos esta dissertação a doutora Ana Fedorenko, que pertence à NIST da Ucrânia. Ela está em Kiev. Vamos ter agora uma pequena pausa, que até às 11 horas, onde vai entrar diretamente do Brasil a doutora Angélica, para nos falar LGPD para empresas, Lei Geral da Proteção de Dados para empresas. Como sabem, a lei que está muito em discussão há aproximadamente 4 meses, então tem sido frequentemente a nível de webinars, conferências, fóruns, a Lei Geral da Proteção de Dados para Empresas, onde ela vai também integrar essa dissertação também ao nosso âmbito. É o seguinte, vou deixar aqui uma nota. Vamos estar hoje na televisão pública de Angola, em consonância com o nosso direto, mas vai estar alguém a representar a organização, a PetroShore Compliance, vai estar no universo feminino por volta das 12 horas. Estejam atentos, um programa da televisão pública de Angola de grande audiência, uma audiência extrema, que é o programa Canté do Jornal de Tarde, e vamos estar a anunciar o nosso fórum, que está a ser fantástico, de grande partilha de conhecimento, grande entreajuda entre todos os membros da equipa. Nós já somos 300 no grupo Cultura de Compliance, 1123 inscritos para o fórum. As inscrições não terminaram, podem ir assistindo às diferentes etapas durante uma semana, de 12 a 17, com 39 intervenções e mais de 30 oradores. São 39 oradores, portanto, 39 intervenções para 39 oradores, espalhados pelos 4 cantos do mundo. Um fórum que tem muito com o desafio do compliance, e também colocar algumas situações que possamos também apreender para as nossas organizações. Muito obrigado a todos. Vamos fazer então um coffee break. É aquele café que eu vos disse, bastante adocicado. O café hoje da manhã foi extraordinário, porque tinha um sabor único, um sabor a café único, porque estava inscrito nessa mesma chávena o grande Fórum Internacional de Compliance Angola, uma chávena apropriada para este fórum, e que realmente, ao saborear e ao tomar aquele pequeno almoço tão delicioso, senti que o calor é imenso, que todos estamos preparados para conseguir levar este fórum aos voos. Mais uma situação, ele é totalmente gratuito, todos os participantes irão ter um certificado da PetroShore Compliance, um certificado internacional, uma certificação a nível de estarem presentes no mesmo fórum. E quero dar-vos a conhecer que vamos ter intervenções extraordinárias ao longo da semana, com 2 intervenções de o grande criminalista José António Barreiros. Ele vai estar no dia 14 e no dia 16 de Portugal. Volto a repetir que nós estamos para o mundo, nós estamos a emitir para o mundo a nível de todas as plataformas digitais, e estamos com elementos de Angola, Moçambique, México, Bangladesh, Brasil, Portugal, África do Sul, Espanha e Ucrânia. Portanto, tivemos também pessoas a assistirem-nos dentro desses mesmos países. Agora passava a palavra à doutora Andreia para este coffee break. Ela vai dar o sinal para que possamos ir tomar um café à Angélica Pereira.
Ok, perfeito. Muito obrigada, Carlos. Uma apresentação fantástica da doutora Ana. Realmente superou todas as expectativas. Então, nós vamos agora para essa pausa e voltamos às 11 da manhã com uma nova intervenção, que é a intervenção próxima sobre qual é a matéria, que eu já me perdi aqui com minha agenda, não tem aqui na minha frente, senão vou ter que sair da tela, Carlos. É com a doutora, é sobre LGPD, não é? Carlos, eu estou te perdendo, sim. Mas assim que nós vamos estar falando sobre LGPD com a doutora Teixeira, agora às 11 da manhã. Somente seguimos a mesma sequência, pois vamos fechar essa sala, vamos fechar a transmissão direto no YouTube e voltamos para a nova transmissão, certo? As pessoas têm que entrar de novo no Zoom para essa transmissão em específico. Cada uma das dissertações, ela tem uma transmissão. Então, o que nós vamos estar fazendo durante essa hora é já essas 2 primeiras intervenções, nós já vamos deixar disponibilizadas também na plataforma para quem não assistiu puder assistir. Importante, sempre que terminar uma transmissão, marcar na aula, completar e continuar. para seguir uma sequência, certo? Para que depois possa se completar toda a formação, todo o fórum e poder fazer a emissão do certificado, que é automática, tá? Se nós não fazemos esse processo, vai ficar marcado como que não foi visto ou não foi realizado e não se emite o certificado automaticamente. Então, eu gostaria da vossa atenção para esse ponto, ok? Carlos?
Certo, então vou estar aqui com a chávena do cafezinho da manhã. Foi enviado mesmo diretamente do México. A doutora Andreia, são 10 horas, são menos 6, são 4 da manhã, aí no México.
Boa hora.
Um café,
boa hora.
um café delicioso, convido-vos a tomarem um café aí com a PetroShore Compliance. Tudo isto é possível a nível online, basta nós termos um tanto ou quanto de improvisação e de ideias, e realmente estou a tomar um café com todos vós. Obrigado.
Eu vou tomar um Red Bull para ver se eu acordo. Até já, gente. Então, voltamos às 11.
Está a ser fantástico. Eu estive a fazer uma média, nós tivemos praticamente uma centena de pessoas durante essa hora, o que foi muito bom. Portanto, vamos avançar e vou repetir, estejam também atentos à televisão pública de Angola, por volta das 12 horas, no universo feminino. Vai estar alguém da organização a dar conta do nosso fórum, uma simbiose do online e da televisão, será extraordinário, num programa mais visionado na televisão pública de Angola, que é o programa que antecede o Jornal da Tarde. Portanto, convido-vos a estarem presentes e visualizarem.
Perfeito, então.
Através
Obrigada,
também
Carlos,
da TPA Internacional.
Perfeito, pois muito
Obrigado.
obrigada. Pois,
até já.
nos vemos